Now, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says his country needs to be careful about Chinese involvement in critical infrastructure. But he warns the UK should avoid becoming Sinophobic.
I think we've got to be very vigilant about what's happening with our critical national infrastructure and about the protection of our data and our cyberspace, and we're taking more measures to do that. But I don't want this country or this government to lurch into a position of sort of unthinking Sinophobia. I don't believe that'd be right for the UK. I think that there's a balance to be struck.
He's speaking just a day after his foreign secretary introduced fines for companies that fail to ensure suppliers are not involved in forced labour in Xinjiang. Ollie Barrett joins us now from London for more on this. Ollie, UK has been openly critical of China, leading to rising tensions with Beijing. Is Britain now easing that hard stance?
No, I don't think it is. Boris Johnson, since he has been Prime Minister, has repeated that idea that he wants to reject Sinophobia and has described himself repeatedly as a Sinophile, while those tensions with Beijing have increased over Hong Kong, over Huawei, over Xinjiang. And while he was making these most recent comments to MPs in Westminster, he also very strongly praised the speech that Dominic Raab, his Foreign Secretary, gave to MPs on Tuesday, in which he outlined the new measures against Beijing over those allegations of human rights abuses in Xinjiang. So I don't think this represents a shift. But one thing perhaps it does do is speak to one of the mysteries currently doing the rounds in Westminster. When Dominic Raab set out those new measures on Tuesday, they did not contain sanctions against Chinese officials, as had been briefed would be the case to the UK media. Dominic Raab was asked by several MPs, therefore, in the chamber as he made his speech, who is it in government who blocked those sanctions against Chinese officials that Dominic Raab says are actually just being kept in reserve? These comments from Boris Johnson, I think, will give rise to further speculation that perhaps the person in government that is blocking those sanctions for now might be the Prime Minister himself.
Now, Ollie, I just want to talk about the ban on Huawei from its 5G network. Well, that came as the US slapped sanctions on the Chinese firm. Any changes likely to happen with the Biden administration taking over in Washington?
Again, I think unlikely, not least because the legislation which enshrines in law the stripping out of Huawei from the UK's 5G rollout is passing through Parliament as we speak. No sign that the government is about to do a U-turn on that. There is also ongoing pressure from within Boris Johnson's Conservative Party to continue to take a strong line against China over this issue and others as well. And I think also in London, the feeling is not that the change in administration in Washington is going to suddenly lead to a wildly different form of pressure from Washington over the stance that is being taken on China. So Boris Johnson and his government are going to continue to have to find what they describe as that difficult balance between trying to find a positive and productive, as they describe it, relationship with Beijing, while continuing to take a tough line on some of these issues, including Hong Kong, Huawei, and what is unfolding in Xinjiang.